Hi everyone, welcome back. So I know I changed the background color a little bit. So if you do want to change the background color from dark to light, one way of doing it is you go to File, go to Settings, and then this color scheme on the editor color scheme. On the scheme, you could just change it to whatever one you want. I just changed that to classic light, and that's why the background color changed. That said, today we'll talk about Python string. And Python strings obviously consist of multiple different things: slicing, modifying, concatenation, formatting, escape character, as well as string methods. So because there are a lot of things that we'll go over in that, so I'll just create a new directory for that. So how do you do that is you go to Python learning, new, just create a directory, and I'll just name this as, let's say 08. And then I'll just say, or actually, you know what? I'll just do Python strings. So it'll just be there. And within this Python string, actually, let me do this one more time. Let me just refactor it really quick. 08 Python strings, refactor. So you'll know that it is right after the seventh one. Then what inside there, I'll just right click and I'll just create another Python file. And I'll still say 08, maybe 08 1. And in here, I'll just do Python string. So, okay, cool. So one more thing before we get started with this, obviously we have a lot of different folders on the top right here. So there are a few different things that you can do with this. If you want to close all those things out, obviously we can do one at a time like this. Another way, if we just right click and just do, we can do close, or you can do close all tabs, close other tabs. So if you do close all tabs, that'll, including this Python string, everything will get closed. If we just want to close every single other tab except for this one, obviously we can do that as well. So you just do close other tabs, it'll just close out everything. It'll just leave this here. It's just easier to handle. So, okay, cool. So within this, obviously we briefly talked about all this, how to assign a variable and whatnot. But let's just get started with this. How do we assign a variable is, let's say I put A equals, I don't know, let's say hello. And if I want to print it, obviously just do print A, right? And if I want to run this thing, right click, oops, yeah, and then just do run, and it'll just show up here. Not sure why it's taking a little bit longer than usual. It's compiling right now. There you go. You have the hello. If I want to do multiple strings, or multi-line, you could say multi-line strings, I can do that as well. And how I do that is, let's say I have, let's just do print multi-line equals hello. I am writing. So I just press enter. So going from there to here, and I just press enter. Multi-line string. Yep, something like that. And if I do print print multi-line, if I do that, and there you go. I have this. I have this. Obviously, it didn't print on multiple different lines, is because, again, I didn't say it specifically to put in multiple lines. It could be that for easier sake of reading, I'm just putting this in different lines, but I don't want them printed on different lines. That's the reason why it printed out this way. And obviously, as you can see, like writing multi, there is no space, and that's why, like here I have no space. That's right. This one and this one is concatenating. Again, concatenation is another topic we'll go over later on. But if I just put a space here, and if I just put a space here, and run it again, you'll see that right there. I have the spacing right now. Cool. That said, another one is if I want to get position of a character, or like just one. Here, I'll just show you over here. If I want to just get one word or something, let me just take this thing out as well, so there's no thing in there. So if I just do, let's say, print, and I just put, let's say I have print multiline again, right? But I just want to print out one character, or the first character, the second character, or something. If I just put one right here and then run it, I have E. And the reason I have E is because I have, whenever you have HELLO, so indexing wise, you have 0, H is 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So as you can see, I is 6. So if I was to put 6 in here and I run it, it'll print out that I. Okay, so every single character, including the spacing, it'll print out everything. If I want to loop through a string, right? What I can do, let's say I can put something like for X in Apple, or it's a string, so Apple, and then I put print X, and if I was to run this, see that it'll print out every single character inside, just one at a time. It'll just loop through it and then just print out one character at a time. Yeah. So yeah, and if I want to get the length of the character or something, I can also do that. I can use the len, and how do I do that? I can just do print, then I just do len. So in here, you have to start with the bracket, then put len, and then you have to have another 2 brackets inside. And this is where you're going to put whatever you want to get the length for. If I want to get length for let's say print multiline, right? Just so we have differentiations, let's just say print, and I'll just put a couple of characters this way, so you'll know that this is a different item. Then I'll put it on here as well, so you guys will know that this is different. So this will just give me the different character length. So there are 36 characters within this print multiline. If I want to check if a certain word is present in a certain word is present, and how do I do that? I can do that here. Let me just put this another line right here. I can say print, let's say, so right now I just want to check if a certain character is available or not. I can say print, I can say hello in print multiline. So what he's saying is that, do I have hello in print multiline? Yes or no, right? So if I do this, it'll give me true. It's a Boolean value. It's true or false, basically. If I put, instead of saying hello, if I put, let's say, I don't have hellos, right? I don't have O at the end. I mean, sorry, I don't have S at the end. So let's say I just put S at the end. There's an example. If I do this, I should get false this time. There you go. I have false. So it just basically checking. So this is the keyword in. We're checking that if we have hello inside this specific variable. And obviously we do not have it, so that's why we don't have it. That's why it is saying false. And we can also do if statement if we want. If we can do, let's say we're looking for or yeah, let's actually do an if statement if we want. Let's say let's say I create another variable, right? Let's say I put text equals I am writing Python, or I'm coding in Python. It really doesn't matter what you say, but yeah, I can do this if let's say I'm checking to see, here, let me just put this in here. If coding in txt, right? I want to do print I'm going to do, let's say, again, I just want this thing to print out. Coding is available in txt, right? I can say that. And if I was to print this, right there, coding is available, right? If coding, let's say instead of coding, I just say hello, right? You guys could be thinking that, okay, this thing exists because that's the thing that I printed out, but that's not how this is working. If I just change this coding to hello, right now, if I was to run this thing, see, it doesn't give me anything. It doesn't exist. I only had if, because it doesn't exist. That's why it's not printing out anything. It only printed out this specific line right here. Right? If I just say if over here, right? If I say if over here, if statement, right? If I just say that, so you guys can see it very clearly. See, if statement printed out, but this thing did not print out because it doesn't exist in there. Let's say in keyword, yeah. So yeah, that's basically how this works. We can also check if something does not exist, right? So let's say if I was to do another one, not in, let's say txt or something. If I was to do that, let's say it's similar to how I have this in keyword. This is basically not keyword or not in. Not in keyword. So in this text, let's say I'm putting in Python. And instead of saying all this, I can just say, let's say I'm saying, not coding, not in txt. Or I can here change this to txt2. This is also txt2. If I was to run this, see, this is true because it doesn't exist, right? If I were to just say just the word coding, obviously it does exist, right? Because this not in is also a keyword. Now, if I was to say this should give me false. If I was to run it, see, it gives me false. Okay. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. And obviously, you know, here, let me just change this order so you guys will see the difference. The same thing, if I wanted to do this as well, I can also do this, you know, with the if statement, not in. Instead of saying this, I'll just say not in txt2, let's say this is txt3, this is also txt3, and yeah, not in txt3. Again, I'm just putting this as a variable. So if hello not in this, print, let's say hello is indeed not available in this. If I'm not in, if I'm in, if I was to, yeah, if I was to print this, hello is indeed not available, right? Or here, not available. Now, if I was to change this hello to, let's say, coding, right? Now, let's change this to coding. Coding is available. So if I was to change this, so right now, as you can see, if and in statement obviously didn't print out anything, but because I'm changing this to coding, this thing also coding, obviously this will print out, and I have this in right here. So obviously this will now change, this will print out this, and for this one, coding and coding again is the same thing, and I'm saying not in. So this thing will print, this thing will not print. So let's just right click, run. Once this thing loads, right there, you see, I only have this thing if and not in statement. I only have that thing printed. So this line got printed, but this line did not, because I have coding in here. But if I was to change that to something else, let's say I'm changing this to M. And again, I don't have to really change anything. I can still just say it. I'm sorry, that will really work. It's not in. Let's just say hello then. Right. If I was to do this, everything will get printed because it is true right now. And it'll run. There you go. Hello is indeed not available here. So yeah, hopefully this makes sense. I know this was a pretty big lesson compared to some of the other lessons, but hopefully this is helpful. What I'll do over here is now I have 081, and then I'll go into 082, 083, and everything will be inside this Python strings directory folder. If you just do this, see right here, you have this here. Cool. If any question, please do let me know. Other than that, thank you so much. And please do subscribe if you have not already. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.